Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to episode 71 of Hello Hello Podcast with me, Jenz, and the lovely Raammo. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How's it
How
going?
you been? I'm chilling. I got a presentation tomorrow morning.
Oh.
And so I spent all my morning this morning in meetings with my group members, like just going over the presentation,
it's a group
like what we're going to say, what we're going to do. Yeah, it's a group presentation on the app that we've been building as well. So it's like even spookier again.
Wait, what?
Because it's not like it's just, it's not just like a report. It's like, no, we've been building an app for the past like 10 weeks, and this is now
cool.
the part where we're like, this is what we've done.
What is your app?
So our app, we have a client.
Present it to me.
Too much information. So we have an app basically, and there's already this existing app which is called Womsat, and it's used for. I wasn't aware of this, but wombats are becoming increasingly more and more endangered in the country, right?
Oh no!
And so I wasn't aware, and so they have this app called Womsat, or this website I should say called Womsat, which is used for like. If you were out and about and you spotted a wombat or one of their burrows, you can go to this website and you can log it. Basically,
cool.
and you can log where the location of it was. You can log how many wombats there were, how many like so on and so forth. Basically, and this data is then used by like zoologists and conservationists to kind of like keep an eye
a crowdfunding
close to the ground. It's kind of like a crowdsourced information database.
That's cool.
Of wombat locations and things. And then this data is passed on to like zoologists and conservationists so that they can keep an eye on kind of like the population, where they might sort of be like collecting towards or migrating to, like so on and so forth, basically. And the main problem we were tasked with was this current implementation of it can only be really used on the web. Like you have to have an internet connection. You can't not have an internet connection, basically. Yeah. Which is quite tricky because where wombats typically reside is like quite rural or like hard to reach areas where there like may not be the best internet connection or no internet connection. So basically we redeveloped this entire new app that works totally offline, doesn't need any sort of information and things like that or connection to the internet other than when you go back to send off the data.
Impressive.
So like if you're on a bushwalk or you're somewhere that's rural that has no connection, you can still log this wombat and save this wombat's location. And then when you go back to like your hotel or your campsite or wherever you are that has internet connection, you can then submit this data off to the respective Womsat team, which can then, process the data as they please, basically.
Very cool.
So it totally works. It'll be available on both Android and iOS eventually. I don't know when, because the process of getting it like onto the stores takes a fair bit of time. Specifically on the Apple front, that can take months and months and months of them processing it.
Wow,
Interesting. I think they manually review all their apps.
Right.
Whereas Android, I think it's a pretty seamless, it can be up within a couple of weeks type of thing. But it's, there is a whole process. So hopefully that'll be out sometime next year. I'm aiming for. But tomorrow is our big presentation day where we like actually show this to like the like a supervisor board basically, and they're gonna mark us on it and critique us and all this sort of stuff. So it's been
like
a stressful start of the week. It basically that's what they like. We have a supervisor that like does these weekly meetings with us to make sure we're still on track.
Yeah,
and he basically said it was like it's like Shark Tank in a sense.
Yeah,
like,
imagine it that way.
Imagine it not so much of the presentation. Imagine it more of like you're selling us this application to invest in, kind of thing. So,
I know in America they have like this shark tracking app where it shows you the migration of sharks that they've have on their data. Yeah. And there have been some interesting conspiracies that came from like the public looking into it. Because it's interesting, but that's so cool.
The longer people look at those sorts of things, the bigger conspiracy theory grows. Like,
yeah. Very nice. Well,
yeah.
good luck. I hope you get millions and
fingers
millions.
crossed it goes well. Oh, we won't get nothing. This will go straight to the client. It's totally like pro bono, like nothing. And this is all based off like government services and things like that. So the government obviously is. Like they make that Womsat tracking service. We're just kind of utilizing it in a sense.
Yeah.
So like even the existing app is totally free. No one gets any like things off it, anything like that. But hopefully it does lead to jobs later down the line. So
true.
Yeah.
And saving the wombats is pretty important.
And saving the wombats, exactly. Yes. But yeah, what have you been up to the past week, Jenz? Because that's basically what I've been up to, but
not as exciting as you making an app to save the wombats. I've just been doing the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep, stream, done. So yeah, not much to report, but we both, and it will tie very nicely for our first segment of the news. Yeah. We both have jumped into the Modern Warfare 2 campaign this week.
Yes.
And what were your thoughts?
Pleasantly surprised.
Right?
Pleasantly surprised. Obviously Call of Duty's been a bit rocky like the past couple of years. That's you know, nothing to sort of turn your nose up at. But yeah, they've been really pushing hard for this resurgence. You know, with these last couple of releases, specifically on the Modern Warfare front, I believe, because like Cold War initially got relatively decent reception, but fell off quite fast. But I think Modern Warfare has that sort of like that namesake of, you know, it's going to stick around for a bit kind of thing. And it's, yeah, like after 2019's first Modern Warfare reboot, because it's not a redo, it's not a remake, it's not a remaster, it's a total reboot of the franchise kind of thing. They're out now with Modern Warfare 2. It came out like a couple of days ago. And yeah, people have been playing the shit out of it, Jenz.
Like, I'm surprised. I mean, like,
yeah.
Yeah, like I'll just talk about the campaign quickly. It is stunning. Yeah. I don't really play COD campaigns because we play COD for COD, not the campaign usually. But I know they have been stepping up their campaigns lately. I believe the previous one was really good. Still haven't played that one.
Yeah, like I said, again, specifically on the Modern Warfare front, I feel like I'm always going to pass up the ones, you know, for like your Black Ops or your Cold Wars or your things like that, because it's like they're a bit more fictional, I kind of feel. And as much as it is a work of fiction, the Modern Warfare games always have some form of like legitimacy to them in a sense, you know.
Well, wasn't this or the one previous like based off a real event and they changed names or something?
I think like I said, they're loosely based off like actual things that happen, so they very well could be like actual like military events that have happened, or
I mean, it definitely feels real.
It
like
does.
It could be a real situation.
Like, they've turned the immersion notch up to 11 with these ones, because it does. It really feels like there's something on the line. It really feels like you're working for something. It's not just a mindless sort of like run here, shoot this guy, run here, shoot that. Like, you know, it feels like you're working towards an open goal. But it's I've been enjoying the campaign as well. I'm honestly very surprised it runs so smoothly on my like 7-year-old machine, maybe.
And it's
like absolutely
so
no
beautiful.
And it does. It looks crazy. I can't believe how good it looks.
It's insane. Like, it's a Call of Duty game, and it has these
props to the
incredible graphics
and stuff, because it is. They
the rocks.
They worked their little they worked their little pens and papers off. It's, oh my god.
Anyways, the campaign's
no. So, like I said, the people have been playing the shit out of this game, Jenz. So much so that is now this new Modern Warfare 2, the 2022 redo of like the 2010, 2009. 2012 was Modern Warfare 3. I think 2009 or 2010 was Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, the redo of that one has now become the fastest selling Call of Duty of all time, right? By surpassing 800 million sold in its release weekend.
That's
800
nuts.
million, Jenz, which beat out the previous holder of the title in the Call of Duty franchise, which was Modern Warfare 3, which was released in 2012. Just to give a bit of perspective, sales figures for Modern Warfare 3 had it pegged at $400 million during its first 24 hours of release, right? Which at the time was the biggest game franchise of all time. 24 hours, it had earned $400 million. And like I said, at the time, it was the biggest game franchise of all time. It would have
COD was huge back then.
Not until the year after, when GTA 5 came out, then it got surpassed, obviously, because you really can't go toe to toe with the guys over at Rockstar. They're basically whatever they release is like gold in a sense. They're gonna crush it. So it's Modern Warfare held that title for about a year, and then Grand Theft Auto came along and thrashed it right out of their hands.
Wow.
But yeah, the 800 million on release weekend, that's crazy. For a Call of Duty in like today's era is insane.
I honestly thought Call of Duty was dying, like especially with the news, obviously with Activision, but also this game is not cheap. It's $110 for a Call of Duty game. Like usually on console, usually day one you get it for $79, $69, something like that.
I think it still is on consoles. I think like the physical copy of it. Yeah, I think the physical copy of it, if you went to a store and picked up the physical copy, I think it'll still run you back about 89 Australian dollars, which isn't like insanely cheaper, but it's still cheaper. But I think all digital editions of it, $110 are crazy. Yeah,
it's a lot. And I know like when I was streaming it, people were saying like they would really like to play it, but it's just so expensive. So the fact that this has been the fastest selling COD, passing $800 million, that's I was shocked when I saw this, because I was like, this is great, but I don't think they sold that much. I was very curious on how much they sold on this.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of crazy to see like a number put to it like this. And I think the guys over at Activision did release like a little like a thank you type of release or something like that for it, because obviously it's massive.
I mean,
for
they
them,
worked hard on it, I bet.
You can tell they did.
Yeah.
I really there's been maybe a couple of bugs that I've seen some people talking about, specifically with like bipods and a couple other things.
Oh, interesting.
But to me, like a relatively casual Call of Duty player, I don't take it too seriously, like all that sort of stuff. I haven't noticed any sort of grievances with it.
Same.
Personally.
I've not run into any issues. I mean, it is a pain to run. I've had to uninstall and reinstall this game like twice because it just... I
noticed when you were streaming it yesterday, you kept getting that GPU overheating notification. I don't know if that was a bug or if that was actually like something concerning.
Because if it was really that high, I would have probably heard my PC and I would have gotten messages elsewhere, like on my AMD overlay or something.
Your monitor app. Yeah,
I reckon it's the game is just a bit funny still.
Yeah.
But it is.
I don't know if you turned a setting on for that, but like I haven't noticed any of those popping up on my machine. Yeah, like I didn't touch anything. I think I turned the field of view up, and that was about it. I didn't touch
the field of view was
settings.
so tight.
It is. It's like
it always is.
Default to like, I think it's preset to like 60, and then you can double it. You can go to 120.
Shooter's always really tight, and it's like, well, that's why I think with Siege, it took me I don't know how long to go to max FOV, and I was like, oh my god, I can see everything.
It's like a whole new world. Yeah,
you can see you can so almost see much. Your ears. It's insane. I was like, how have I been surviving by missing like a third of the screen? Oh, anyways.
But that's the good thing about this one as well, Jenz, is because they've given that field of view slider to console players as well. Typically, that field of view slider was like, if it was implemented, was only implemented on like PCs or something like that. But they've now even given it to console users too. So like even you console kids can like pump that field of view right up and be able to see basically the whole map. Like it's good. It's good to see. Sure. But I'm definitely down. I'm here for the resurgence of Call of Duty. Honestly, I'm hotly anticipating. Obviously, it's still going to be a good couple of years away, but hotly anticipating a Modern Warfare 3 sort of redo kind of thing, because that was like, as silly as it sounds, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, was like my launching point to the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah, that was kind of when I picked it up and was like, oh, okay. I can get, like, when I first got multiplayer, when I first sort of like partied up with some like all that sort of stuff.
Interesting.
I think I'd played Modern Warfare 2 before that, but it was like at my cousin's house or my neighbor's house or something, like local multiplayer type of thing. Modern Warfare 3 was the first one that I really like sort of played properly. So it's I'm excited to see where this franchise is going. Yeah.
Yeah. Exciting.
But yeah, in terms of franchises that are not growing, but somehow taking a hit, Jenz, PlayStation Plus. This is honestly the one thing that keeps coming back to bite me in the ass. Damn PlayStation Plus. This tier system, I tell you, man.
I still don't know the tier system.
Yeah, it's confusing. I try to tell customers about it at work, and I just give up. I'm like, just go to the website; it'll tell you there. But yeah, in some interesting news, Jens, according to Sony's financial year, their 2022 Q2 financial report. God, that's a mouthful. The number of PlayStation Plus subscribers has fallen by almost 2 million users from 47.3 million users last quarter to 45.4 million now. And now PlayStation Network's users have also been steadily falling to 102 million from 103 and then 104 million in the previous 2 quarters.
Interesting.
And this is after their big shift from the typical like PlayStation Plus, you get it, that's it, to now the PlayStation Plus, but you also have the option of 2 or 3 more tiers higher than that. Which is, a very interesting correlation, Jens. I would not have expected it to take a hit in this way.
Same. I think maybe it kind of forced people to review a subscription. Like usually subscriptions are very good because you don't get reminded of them. It just takes money secretly in your bank account.
Yep.
And that's how you get hooked.
Yeah.
Like you just don't think about it.
Yep.
But with PlayStation Plus being like, hey, we got this, and it's like they put so much coverage over it.
It gives you too much choice.
It gives you, exactly. And
like
it's
with Xbox, they've done it well, where you can get, depending on what console, or depending on what you're on. If you are on a Xbox, you either get Xbox Game Pass or you get Xbox Game Pass Gold. Right, that's it. If you're on PC, you get Xbox Game Pass. That's it. You don't have to choose between 2 or 3 different tiers. You don't have to worry about all that shit. And I think with the PlayStation one as well, they're in a bit of a sticky situation where their higher tiers, the highest tier, I should say, has a couple of like somewhat region exclusive parts
like
to it as well. So it's even harder again for users to be like, oh yeah, that one makes sense to me. I'm going to go. Because they're like, oh, but I get it, but I'm not in the continental USA or Europe or Northern Asia where I can like access it. I'm stuck in Australia where I only get the games. I don't get the streaming. I don't get the this, the that. So it's a bit shitty. But yeah, it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, in like, to me, for like from going 45 million is still a lot of people.
That's still like, look, don't get me wrong, 45 million is a lot. But
yeah. But I understand it's something that they should maybe want to address because it's scary. Anytime you lose subscriptions, you just like, oh, what's happening?
I mean, you think too, like 2 million in a quarter. It's not like it's a little drop. It is a somewhat staggering drop in a sense.
And it could happen
because a quarter's only
the next quarter.
Yeah, a quarter's only 1 quarter of the year basically, and that's it. It could if this pattern continues, they could be down 10 million by the end of the year, kind of thing. Yeah, you know, which is a scary sentiment to have.
I wonder if it also kind of compares more to the Xbox Game Pass. Like, if people had both the normal PlayStation subscription and then they maybe have Xbox.
Yeah, they had an Xbox as well, yeah.
But like now they're like, oh, Xbox offer better games. And it's I thought I would never say it. Like usually PlayStation exclusives still rock. But Xbox offers so much, especially on the PC Game Pass.
I feel like with Xbox, there's just a lot more variety to it. In a way, I really haven't had too deep of a look at the PlayStation ones, but like every once in a while when I do turn my PlayStation just to play some FIFA or something like that with the boys, I do check and see if they have updated the list, and they have been updating the list every once in a while from what I've seen.
Right.
But it's never a game that I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that's cool. Like I'll download that kind of thing. Whereas with the Xbox Game Pass, I feel like they're routinely getting massive day one releases that I'm like, all right, I'll wait for that.
Even like small weird ones that like, oh, this kind of looks interesting. Like I never heard of this, but it's on here. I already have access to it. I might as well try
the $12. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just loading it up right now to see if there's anything. Because I'll give you like a quick sort of list for those that don't have Game Pass, basically. So recently they added in all of the Walking Dead Telltale series games, which are exceptional. I've heard really good things about them. The Amnesia Collection, Persona 5 Royal, which is a massive game as well. Tons of people play that. What do you get? You get Scorn as well, which is a big AAA game that sort of just came out, which is getting some mixed reviews, but still, you're getting Scorn. Plague Tale Requiem, which I've seen a bunch of people playing as well. Very hotly anticipated, sequel to the previous Plague Tale. What else do you get? Upcoming games, you get Football Manager 23, which is like an $80 or $90 game, Yeah. You're getting the new upcoming High on Life as well, which is made by the developers of Rick and Morty and things. Which to me, like when I saw the trailers for it, I was like, okay, that looks fun. Don't know if I'm going to spend my $80 on it, but that looks fun. And then I opened Game Pass the day after, and I was like, oh, fuck oath. Like, that's great. I'll play it now.
Yeah, totally.
And you just, I could go on, honestly. You get a ton of other games included with it that I feel are just like, it makes sense to get Game Pass. Whereas with the PlayStation 1, I checked it and I'm like, I'll play Returnal. Maybe I'll replay Death Stranding at some point. Obviously, I've already played the Spider-Man games, but it's like, after that, I'm like, ugh.
Nothing else.
I kind of feel obligated to pick something. Nothing jumps out to me.
Yeah, totally. I wonder if it's because, like, PlayStation usually give you really big games. And like, big AAAs, but also big
They still do that as well. Yeah, they still do that too. Like I still get my monthly PlayStation Plus subscription games and things, which I keep as long as I keep that PlayStation Plus. I still get those games regardless of if I'm on the basic tier or the higher tier.
Yep.
But it's So I don't know. I would imagine this would probably be a cause for concern for the higher ups at Sony, and I would probably think they'd be thinking of reworking it in some way, either merging the tiers together, giving the basic tier a bit more of an incentive, something like that. I don't know. But I feel like they would probably want to be looking at tweaking it and changing it.
Yeah.
Now, I heard this first from a friend, Jenz, and I had no idea. I went out to dinner with some of my mates on Saturday. We got some Japanese.
Oh.
And one of my mates looks at me and goes, Raammo, did you see that God of War leaked? And I go, no, that's crazy. God of War can't leak. That's massive. There's no way they'd let that happen. No. They somehow...
Someone else let that happen.
Yeah, that's it. Someone else let that happen. So... Don't be concerned. We're not going to talk about any of the spoilers. I thankfully haven't seen any of the spoilers and things like that. I'm sure Jenz hasn't either because I'm sure I would have heard about it beforehand. But we're not going to talk about any of the spoilers, but do be warned, if you are planning to play God of War Ragnarok, be a little bit wary of the internet currently and upcoming, obviously, to its November 9th release because copies of the games did get leaked to the public's hands, and there have been reports of clips and entire sort of things of the game, whole cutscenes and things being put out there on TikToks and your YouTubes and social media. So just be wary. But so copies of the upcoming PlayStation Studios behemoth God of War Ragnarok have found their ways into the public hands after a specific US retailer sold them a whole 2 weeks ahead of launch, which is insane, Jenz.
Someone's getting fired.
I don't know if it's an accidental mistake, if it's screw Santa Monica, we're doing this. I don't care what they say. I don't know what the whole story is. But a US retailer sold them a whole 2 weeks ahead of launch, which is a big no-no. Breaking street date is incredibly sketchy. If you do it, there's like, what do you call it? Basically, when you get these copies of the games, you're signing, or the retailer is signing like an NDA, basically stating that, yes, we will not release these games until the specified release date and time. If we do, we are legally liable. So whoever this US retailer is probably in some very hot doo-doo right now if PlayStation and Santa Monica want to press charges, which I'm assuming they're going to do.
And they also...
Because this could have,
They also might not sell their games to them anymore. That's what is a consequence for streamers. You'll be blacklisted.
Yeah, they're probably going to be blacklisted from any ongoing like PlayStation releases of any sort of magnitude, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Which is quite scary because like if you imagine this is like GameStop,
man.
Yeah, like imagine this is GameStop or something like that, and it was like let's for simplicity's sake, let's say it's the Los Angeles GameStop, right? There's just one in Los Angeles. It's just that one. Even if just that retailer sold it 2 weeks ahead of launch, the entire GameStop franchise is held liable. Not just that store, the entire. So like the whole of GameStop. But like it'd be stupid for PlayStation to do it because that's one of the biggest sellers of video game sort of material in the US. But like the whole of GameStop could be liable and could lose that Sony contract. It's massive. Yeah. But yeah, so these got released, and then that's obviously meant that a ton of spoilers have made their way out into the internet. Some people, my friend included, that's why he told me this, have already been caught out by some massive spoilers. I think he said that he saw one of, or probably like the last like sort of fight in the game or the cutscene or whatever it was. I don't know. He didn't describe it to me. But yeah, he said he saw something like that, and it was it's heartbreaking for him because he's a massive God of War fan. He's played them since the first one came out. He even got a PSP so he could play the PSP version, all that sort of stuff. He's a massive God of War fan. So yeah, it sucks for him. He still said he's going to pick it up and play it, obviously, because it is just one part of the whole game, obviously. Man, but still, it's a big hit to take. And then Santa Monica Studios obviously did address this issue in the form of a tweet and announcement, basically stating and confirming that yes, there are leaks of the game going around, and that they are trying their best to suppress what they can, but they also outlined that it's kind of a losing battle because it's on the internet. It's almost impossible to get it all down and things like that. You can try your best, but it's kind of like rowing a boat up a hill in a sense because it's just not going to work. And yeah, they obviously did go on to say that if you don't want any spoilers, obviously mute as many associated keywords as possible, try and limit what's get shown to you on social media feeds, or better yet, just like do what Jenz is doing and kind of boycott and go off the grid as much as possible. Obviously that last one, easier said than done, but it's still an option. What's really tough about it is that the game's release is literally just around the corner. Like I said before, November 9th, it's the 2nd now the day of recording. It's literally a week away. Which it sucks that it happens so close to launch, but it is
what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I don't think it'll discourage people from buying the game.
No.
Especially if you were already planning. It's a big shame for fans to be like spoiled something.
And Santa Monica Studios as well.
Of course.
Like, can you imagine like the last like 3 or 4 years or however long they've been developing this to put all your heart and soul into it and things, and then some store just put their games out and gave it to like, even if it was 10 people, those 10 people can still go and record the entire game, upload it, and that's out there. Like, so it's it sucks for them. Because they would have worked their little asses off for it, but it does suck. There's not much you can do at the moment, obviously, other than, try and avoid it as best you can, like I said. So good luck to all of you out there that are actively trying to avoid God of War spoilers. It's going to get tough, I imagine. Yeah. It's going to get tough.
7 days, we can hold out.
Yes, 7 days really isn't that bad to go off the internet or limit quite heavily what you do on the internet. Twitter's probably the best one because you can at least block out keywords. I know you can for a fact. I've done it before with a bunch of Marvel releases and things, and it does work pretty well. So but the big ones are going to be steer clear of like any of the quick fire media stuff. So your Instagram Reels, your YouTube Shorts, and your TikTok, they're going to be the big killers. I guarantee you. Because people are going to hide like the first couple of seconds of a video and make it like, some cat falling downstairs and then boom, it's going to be a God of War spoiler. And you're not going to be able to swipe off fast enough. So yeah, they're rough, the ones you're going to steer clear of.
Rough.
It's going to be rough, yeah. All right, Jenz. And then leaks and rumors and things like that weren't the only thing that were hitting the Santa Monica Studios this week because apparently Metal Gear Solid 3, a remake teaser, was apparently posted on Twitter and very quickly deleted thereafter. So it must be the season of remakes, and I guess Konami wasn't stopping with just Silent Hill like we found out last week. Because this apparently hit Twitter. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything of it until I sort of checked the news feed this morning to see what was happening. But yeah, this is massive. It's been long rumored that Virtuous, which is a well-known developer / porter, is working on a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake for Konami. This was first reported by VGC and then subsequently confirmed by a LinkedIn profile that revealed the company was working and had been working on a remake of a AAA game since about 2018 with, quote, AAA quality level art, 4K graphics, and set-piece destruction. unquote. It now seems that we could have our first teaser of the game, courtesy of Virtuous's own Twitter account, which apparently posted a video teaser revealing what we believe to be our first look at forest-like environments from the game, as well as a string of Morse code that revealed a date reading December 8th, which, Jenz, coincidentally, is the exact same day as the Game Awards event that's coming up.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Coincidence?
I think not. I think not. And now there is some skepticism that came out with this shortly after as well, because at least one part of the teaser trailer appears to be from an Unreal Engine 5 Quixel asset video. So it's like not, made content as part of another video producing if that makes sense, which would lead us to question its kind of validity in the space.
Yeah, right.
That being said, it doesn't alter the whole story of Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake being worked on by Virtuous, with that whole LinkedIn post and things like that.
But
I also have it up behind us. There's also from a video clip, there is also a studio tour that they did. There's a very interesting book on someone's desk, on an artist's desk, and it's the book. It's an art book for Metal Gear Solid 3. So it's all signs are kind of pointing towards the same thing. Obviously, it is still a little bit up in the air, but it's looking relatively possible at some point.
Cool.
I'm just interested as to why they chose Metal Gear Solid 3 to start with, as opposed to doing like 1 and 2 and then 3, and some of like the in-between games and things like that as well, because it's, I don't know.
Yeah, because Metal Gear Solid 3 would have been the latest one, so you would think you would want to go to the first one, which has been a longer
technically,
time.
there's Metal Gear Solid 5, technically, which would be like the latest one and like the last one in the franchise as well.
Right, okay. Maybe
but it's,
3 is just, I don't know. I've heard a lot about 3.
I think like 3 is kind of like one of the cultier classic ones, just and kind of like the fan favorite and things like that.
Yeah, maybe they're like, well, this is the best one that they think, and so they're like, let's just do this one.
May as well start off with a bang kind of thing.
Yeah. I am curious,
but it's also, too, it'd be Konami's decision. It wouldn't have been Virtuous's decision.
Right.
Konami would have been like, we want you to like make this this one. Can you do it for us? And they were like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'd be interested, though, because I've heard so much about Metal Gear Solid 3, but I've never played it. So if they are going to make a remake, I'd be down.
Yeah. I'm copping.
I've heard the long movie scenes.
Yeah, because like same thing about Silent Hills last week is like I've always wanted to play them, but I've never gotten around to it because I don't think the control schemes would sit well in my head. So like a modern sort of redo remake of it would be like I'd 100% be down for that. I
wonder how old.
2004, I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is, if I'm not mistaken. It's not new by any means.
2004.
2004, yeah.
PlayStation 2.
2001 was Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Metal Gear Solid was 1998. So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're pumping those bad boys out pretty fast.
So, not too bad. 2004.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't hold up now in control scheme wise.
No, definitely not. I don't think so. So it's I'm hotly anticipating something coming out of this. I don't know if it's true or not, because obviously we don't work at Virtuoso or Konami, but it's,
maybe we'll hear something on December 8th.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And I think as well, I don't know if you saw, it's not a spoiler or anything like that, but HBO's Last of Us as well.
Oh, the teaser trailer?
Well, the teaser trailer came out a little while ago, but it didn't have any sort of date, unfortunately. And apparently, if you go to HBO's website and you watch the teaser trailer, in the description, in the bio for it, like when you pause it and things like that, when you pause Netflix and you leave it for a couple of seconds and it shows like the synopsis, it's like that.
Interesting.
And it shows a date for January 15th, I think it was off the top of my head, 2023, which is presumably going to be its like release date, obviously.
Cool.
And people are speculating that it will also be shown at the Game Awards as well, because it's just around the corner. So it's, very, very exciting.
Sounds like the Game Awards is going to be very.
There's
a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be popping. Yeah.
Cool.
So I think we're going to have to wake up early or go to bed late for that day.
Oh, crap.
What day is December 8th? Let me see. December 8th is a Thursday. Yeah, okay.
A Thursday.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's all the news topics for this week, Jenz. Was there anything you wanted to add on before we wrap up? Just a little bit of a shorter one this week.
No, I think that's all from me.
Yeah, no, nothing from me either. So as always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch the next one or the next gameplay as well. And we'll see you guys all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.